Well, I am now joined by Professor Habib Al Souleiman, who is the Managing Director of ABMS Open University of Switzerland. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Bienvenue, Professor. Thank you for coming in and speaking to me today. We are here essentially to talk about ABMS Open University of Switzerland, which is described as the first virtual university. What does that actually mean?
Yes, ABMS is like quite unique idea. The idea started a couple of years ago. We are the first virtual university in Europe. That's what we believe. There is no university until now in Europe is able to offer the whole study programs from A to Z online. We don't do it as online in the traditional way. We do it in virtual live, which means the professor and the students are on a daily basis, screen to screen, not face to face, communicating and discussing about the topic which they are interested to know more about.
That is interesting because I've seen your brochures and I've seen the whole range of qualifications you offer. And you have already touched on some of the things that I had identified in my mind as issues to how this might work. So already it's very interesting. As with any university though, there are many compliance issues to get the university established. How do your education standards differ from any other university?
We started the idea when the students were unable to come to Switzerland to study. To spend 3 or 4 years in order to get a bachelor degree or a doctoral degree or sometimes even a master degree, you have to leave your home country, your family, your job for many years. So the idea of ABMS started, or to establish the idea of ABMS came from students themselves. They requested that they want a high quality education where the professor is giving them the material live, and at the same time they don't need to leave their country. Here the idea coming from the establishing of the first virtual university in Europe.
Okay. I think you've already touched on how the student experience differs from the traditional university. What are the main differences for the student?
Students do not feel boring during their study. They know each other. So when they are studying with us, we have students today from plus 120 countries. So they know each other, they are able to communicate and discuss about any topic they are interested. So it's not like a boring educational system where the student is unable to know who is his professor or who is his colleague. So the student can communicate between themselves. They are sometimes on a WhatsApp, on Facebook, communicating together about the topic which they are interested to ask the professor about. And here the students is able to have a unique idea in order to have high quality and at the same time stay in their home country. This is the whole idea of virtual education.
So the interaction between students is encouraged and maintained, and the interaction between the tutors and students is very similar to a traditional university. They're just not in the same room.
Yes, our professors are actually, the biggest part of our professors are teaching in traditional universities. So we try to hire professors from traditional universities in order to make sure to parents that the professor who is giving to your kids the education is the same professor where you find him in your local universities. So we have today even professors from 12 countries. So we're trying to have professors from Malaysia, from the US, from UK, from Switzerland. So in order to make sure to parents, people are sometimes afraid from what they don't know. So we are showing them, look, the same professor where you find him in a top university in your country, he is our professor at the same time.
Wow. And I believe that your website suggests that you have a strong focus on education for business. Networking is an important element of business world nowadays. Do you have any particular facilities for networking with business students?
all the students, they know each other. You will be surprised. We have each 6 months a graduation ceremony where the students come to Zurich to graduate. So when they come to Zurich, they know each other. So if somebody is looking for a job or another help, so they are able to communicate. And the good point in our virtual live that we have students from a very poor region, and we have multi-milliardaire students. So we have a range of students from different cultures, from different financial backgrounds, are able to study or studying at the same time in the same place.
Brilliant. Your university has already received many accolades and awards for customer satisfaction. What among all of your achievements thus far stands out for you? What makes you the proudest of what you've achieved so far?
We have won a few awards, like the student satisfaction, which is evaluated by Zurich University of Applied Science, ILM in UK, and York University in Canada. In addition to, we are the only university in the world which gives to student a possibility of a triple award, which means the student study with us and get a diploma or degree or a master or bachelor or doctorate jointly from 3 universities. 2 of them are European state universities, plus ABMS.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So you've come a long way in a short period of time. How do you see the future for ABMS Open University?
I believe in the near future we will be able to introduce our methods to many universities. Today we have signed agreements with plus 100 universities. The biggest part of them are state universities or public universities, and we are now trying to show them how it works, the virtual education. So we are trying, or we hope that sooner or later the methodology which we are using is not a copyright only for ABMS. We want to give it further to our universities. We have more than 100, I believe, so that they will be able to implement it in their home country. And we hope that within the next 10 years or 20 years, that ABMS will be the leader in the virtual education, but at the same time, this virtual education will be found everywhere.
And there are, I assume, cost savings for universities with that, because you don't need lecture halls, because everybody's at home. Once the technology is in place, there's less required from the university, is that right? The
biggest part is the first investment.
Sure.
To start with new platform and all other requires. This is the biggest investment which all universities are until now afraid to spend it. We're offering sometimes to some of our partners, like, okay, we will give you the platform. Sometimes we offer them like for very small amount. So we try that, yes, even if it's big investment, it was for the ABMS in the beginning, that we can give it further to some of our public universities mainly.
Well, I have to be perfectly honest and say, when I read about this, I was quite skeptical about the whole concept of virtual university. But I am an absolute convert. I have really enjoyed talking to you and hearing about this system, and I wish you continued success in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
you.
indeed, Professor.
Thank you.